let's listen.
Most people just looked around when they came in.
Oof.
But the woman standing near the door looked like she was really searching for something. She held a simple cloth bag tightly. Her eyes looked worried as she scanned the piles of things.
Okay, so that one actually sounded kind of like him, but there was a bit of raspiness to the voice. I'm not a big fan of it, but it does get the job done. It's not terrible. It's not amazing. Hey everybody. So in the last video, we were over here installing GPT-So-Vits version 3, and today we're going to be going over how to use it. On the main page of the GPT-So-Vits GitHub repo, if you scroll down, you can see the version 3 release notes, and then if you go over here to the more details, you can see what's different about it, right? So if you want to, take a second, pause the video, and see what's different, if it's even worth upgrading. Personal experience from what I'm seeing so far, it's significantly better, but still not perfect. But for the inference speed you get, a good API usage, and well, it's free, it's not bad at all. So I definitely recommend trying it. Just a quick side note, so for the bat file that I put on the install video, one thing I like to do is to put in some like a command in order to clear out some of the folders. So all the outputs that's going in through GPT, I saw what they were and I put them in here. So what you could do honestly is just toss your files into an LLM and say have these be deleted in the bat folder, and it'll pretty much give you the same thing. If you want, I can put the script in the description below, so feel free, just let me know. Thanks. First things first, we got it up and running, and the one thing we're going to need to start off with is quality audio. I want to repeat that, quality audio. Now around a minute 30 to a minute 45 is perfect, but I'll show you some differences between bad audio and good audio. Now for this tutorial, we're going to be using Asmongold's voice, just like in the version 2, the original video tutorial I made a while back. So we're going to see how that goes. I haven't done it with his voice yet, so this will be a first time for both of us. Now, when switching over to Audacity, this is what some bad audio is going to sound like, right? Listen.
So like this right here.
At the beginning there, somebody's voice was talking. You don't want that in there, so you're going to want to cut that out. Or long pauses and connections. Listen to this.
The purchasing method. It's literally that simple. Also, by the way,
so you get the long pauses there, and then you got the connection, and then somebody else's voice starts talking. Same thing, you're not going to want that. And I believe there was one more over here.
At all purchase points. I think that companies should have to refund you for anything.
So you hear that again, where it goes and somebody else is talking at the beginning. So you're going to want to cut those out or filter them out, and I'll show you how to do that after. But for now, let's go over the good audio and check over those areas that were problems.
Like this right here should have in parentheses 3
Nobody else was talking.
Purchasing method. There is no reason not to have this.
Nobody else was talking, no long pauses.
Have to be assigned a value at all purchase points. Companies should have to refund you for anything.
So this audio, I still need to filter it because there's still background noise to it, but the voice itself is what you want to make sure is all that's going through. And it's around the 1 minute 30 mark, which is perfect for what we're going to be using it for. So we now have our audio. So for Audacity, I'd recommend downloading it. And then also whenever you're going to export it, make sure you have it unmuted, because that's the one that's going to export the track, I mean. That track is going to export, so you press Ctrl-Shift-E, get the export, save it to wherever you want it to go, and let's go to the next one. So for the sounds, usually I'll go to YouTube and try to grab the sounds if I want to, or record your voice or somebody else's voice you want to clone. And for me, when it comes to YouTube, I created this script a while back. If y'all want it, I'll post it on GitHub or something. I'll figure out a way. But pretty much you type in the URL, you drag in the drop folder you want, and then you change the MP3 or WAV, whichever format you want to download it as, and then you download that file. So that's one way to do it, is create your own script by using some vibe coding, or go to a YouTube download or online. There are plenty of them, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Or probably a GitHub page. I bet there's something out there where you can download YouTube videos. And then from there, I would recommend again Audacity just because it's free and easy to work with. You'll upload the video into here, the sound file into here. And then from there, edit what you need, take parts out, do whatever you gotta do in order to get the files you need. Now that we got the audio you want, the quality of the voice is good, we need to filter out the background noise or anything else that's in there that you don't want. So there's a few ways to do that. You can go back into GPT-SoVITS and you can use their vocal remover they have here. What you do is you go here, it'll say it's closed or open, and then you press open and then it'll load up. It'll say it in the terminal, the URL, so you can control click that and it'll bring up to this point, right? Now from here, you can choose the model. Personally, HP5 only main vocal has been pretty good, so I've been using that. So you'll then grab the file you exported, whichever one you want to use. So for me, it would be this one. Drag and drop that in there. I'm going to go with the WAV format because that's usually pretty good. And then drag and drop the output folder you want. So let's say I wanted it in, this folder here, right? Go up to this bar, Control C to copy and paste it. Control C, Control V. I just toss them both in the same one because I don't really care. And then from there, you'll convert it and it'll show up in that folder we had. So now that it's complete, let's take a listen.
Like this right here should have an printed version that is easy. Is that you're in just fake currencies? I don't mind the fake currencies. The reason why I don't mind the fake, I think that's what's fair for both parties.
So that does a pretty good job. Again, it gets it done, but if you have a bit more that needs to be filtered out, personally, there's a bit of model, and that's with, again, Ultimate Vocal Remover. You can't use this model in here, but it's the UVR-MDX-net-VOC_FT. Now this model doesn't come pre-installed, so whenever you download Ultimate Vocal Remover, just go to download more models.mdx, then scroll down and it'll be here, and then just push the download button so you can get that model. That's the model I've been working with, and it's definitely my favorite. Don't forget to, these are the settings I'm using, press vocals only, and it's pretty simple as well. So you'll grab the file you want. Let's do this 90-second one, and I want it in this folder. So this is the folder I want it in. And then start process, and it'll show everything here. So I'll come back when it's done. Now those are two methods to filter out the background, and let's take a listen to this one.
Like this right here should have in parentheses, there is no reason not to have this. The only are the currencies. The reason why I don't mind the fake currencies is because sometimes you can farm the fake currency.
It sounds perfect, so that's what we're going for. Now let's go back to GPT-So-Vits on the main page here. So we got the filtered audio that we want to use, and we're going to drag and drop, or sorry, not drag and drop. We're going to copy and paste it as a path. Now you can do Control-Shift-C or just copy and paste. And then we're going to want the slicer output, so we got to create a folder for that. Now you don't have to, you can just leave it default, it'll show up in there, but I like to have the slicer outputs in the folder that I'm working with in the audio. In case you ever want to come back and do this again, it'll all be here. Slicer. So same thing, Control-Shift-C, and that'll copy the output path. And there we go, we post it in there. Now for the rest of it, it's pretty straightforward. So what we're going to be doing is following the steps down. First one, we put this in here. We put the audio that we wanted, the filtered audio, good quality, about 1 minute and 30 seconds, in the output folder. So we push that, and right here it's going to be opened and finished already. Once it says finished, you move on to the next step, and it auto fills it in, so you don't even have to do that anymore, which is super nice. I don't know if anybody was here in version 2 or not, but in version 2 you had to go over there, copy and paste the output, copy and paste the folder for each step. It was not fun. Not fun at all. Now that step is finished, so we'll go into the speech recognition tool. Now for this one, you do have to do something. Even though we set it up to go in English, it automatically goes to ASR. But what we want to do is fast whisper. I just use the large model because it's one of the best qualities, and I mean, it's not that bad. Everything else you leave as a default. Now open speech recognition. It's open, now we gotta wait till it's finished. Again, it'll be downloading the model the first time. So the first time you're gonna be doing a lot of this, even the voice separation web UI, it's gonna be downloading those models the first time you run them. So whenever you run it, the first time, it's gonna take a while to load. So just a heads up, it might not look like it's doing anything, but it's doing something. And if you ever need a URL, let's say you press, so down here, we're going to be doing something, right? URLs will be on the terminal. So it'll say, it's open. Go to the terminal, Control C the URL, and it'll pull it up. All right, so that part's finished. So now we're going to go over here and proofread it and make sure it came out good. So we open that. It's going to open up here. Perfect. It's going to be your local host 9871, or maybe different for you. Now for here, we're going to want to make sure that the audio matches the text. So take a look into it.
Like this right here should have in parentheses $3. Theoretically, right? Obviously it's a different amount, but like it's something like this. Every single instance of this being shown on the screen needs to be accompanied with a direct dollar value or local currency value conversion.
So is was not correct there. So you go in there and change that.
That is easy to understand.
So I'm going to go
It's
through.
an alternative purchasing method.
I'm going to go through and check these real quick. So now that we've gone through and checked to make sure all the audio is good, you want to go up here to submit text. That'll submit the changes, and then save file. And that'll save the file. So the file's saved, and it shows the audio to the text that's supposed to match it. So we go back to Gpt-So-Vits web UI. Go back up here. And now we're on to the next step. So you're going to go up here and change it to whatever you want. So I'll go Asmongold. I assume I'm going to be doing different versions. So I'm going to just do 01. So I know for myself, right, it's version 1. Change this to version 3. And then same thing. Go down the line. No, I'm just kidding. Just do the one-click training. So it's going to be doing 1A, 1B, 1C. So doing, wait till it says finished again. I'll come back when it's done. So now it's finished. We'll go on to the next step. Now here, change this to 128. Now I don't remember if these were checked or not, but just to save some space, I believe I had to check them. I'm not positive. So just make sure you do that. And same thing, you're going to do both here. It'll say training. Now only do one at a time. If you click one, then the other, it will not work. So, or one and the other shortly after, before it says finished, it will not work. So just make sure you wait till it says finished. All right, and I'll see you in a second. One thing to do while this is all loading is to go back into Audacity and get your reference audio. So you're going to need a clip that's around 3 to 10 seconds. It has to be in between there, it won't work otherwise. And you also need the text for it, right? So go back to your audio clip, grab a, 9-10 second clip, and then from there you're going to need the text for it. So let's listen.
Companies should have to refund you for anything that you buy, but they should also be able to ban your account if you refund.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the text for that clip, right? But you don't want to just listen to it and type it out. But thankfully, we already got the indexing done. So we'll just go over to the end there. Company should have to refund you for anything that you buy, but they should also be able to ban your account. So there we go. I believe that's where it ended. Let me take a listen again.
Companies should have to refund you. Ban your account.
Yeah, so it ended on refund there. There you go. So we're going to get a notepad. Post that in there. We're going to save it over there. So also when you're saving the reference text, I like to name it the same thing as the 10-second reference audio I'm going to be using, just so that way I correlate them with each other, right? So now we got our text and we got our audio. There we are.
Companies should have to refund.
Perfect. So now let's finish up with the training and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so we got So-Vits and GPT training finished. So now we get to the fun part. So we can go to the Inference tab here, open TTS Inference Web UI, and then it's automatically going to open up top here. There we go. So we're here now. It opened up automatically. We're going to want to refresh the models pass, and we're going to want to change them to the models we just made. Asmongold_01. So we're going to do the 15. This is the latest. Usually the 15 and the 128 are the best. So I just stick with them and I haven't had issues. Alright, so one issue I just ran into is that if you have a name, even though you deleted the temporary files, I was having trouble with Asmongold01. It wouldn't show up with the GPT-So-Vits, even though it said it was trained. For some reason, it would not show up on the So-Vits waitlist. So I just created a new one, Asmongold GPT-012, and it worked just fine. Yeah, quick note. So all you have to do is go to GPT-So-Vits, and there's a log folder. And in that log folder are all of the old models that you've done before. So for me, the problem was I already had one called Asmongold 01, so I was trying to pull from that one, but files were missing. So just delete that log folder and it'll be good as new. All right, back to the video. If you don't see it show up here, just change the naming. So this is going to be the second model, but it does the same thing. So you fill it in, you open the Web UI TTS. Now when you get here, obviously the model paths, you're going to have to change those if they aren't the ones set to what you want. You come over here, change this to English. You're going to be using the reference audio, right? So that reference audio we created earlier. Oh, whoops. You're going to grab that, dragging it in there, and then you're going to grab the text for it. So you're going to grab the text, copy and paste that, toss it in here. Now I like to use this. It gives it a higher quality. So personally for me, I always check this for the version 3 model only. Change that to English. So when it comes to the output sentence, you can do it by sentence, but it's going to generate for each sentence. So one might have a high octave, the other one might have a low octave. The tempo is not going to match. So I just like to do every 4 sentences, so it kind of sounds like it goes with the flow there. And then the adjust to speech rate and tone of the last synthesis. I don't know why or what's wrong with it right now, but for some reason it copies almost the same text. So if you're saying the same thing over and over and you get a really good one, then yes, do this. But if you're trying to do different text, do not check this because it'll just use that same text. Let me grab some text. So I just found some text of a story online. So now that we got everything set, let's run this and see how it comes out. Alright, so it just finished. It doesn't take too long, at least on my computer. So we'll see how it does on yours, but for the most part, it's pretty fast. Alright, let's listen.
Most people just looked around when they came in.
Oof.
But the woman standing near the door looked like she was really searching for something. She held a simple cloth bag tightly. Her eyes looked worried as she scanned the piles of things.
Okay, so that one actually sounded kind of like him, but there was a bit of raspiness to the voice. I'm not a big fan of it, but it does get the job done. Let's try something else real quick. So here we go. Let's see some tongue twisters, see how he does. Oh, it's going to be all right, I think. All right, here it is.
Sly foxes slips silently through thickets. Crisp cookies crumble in corky quantities. Bouncy bumblebees buzz by blazing bonfires.
Again, it's not the worst. It's not amazing, but there you go. You get what you get. You get what you pay for, right? So you can also make it laugh and do a few other emotions. So for laughing, haha. Let's see, sigh. I think it was brackets for sigh. Now there are a few emotions. You're going to want to look it up. All right, let's hear it.
Sly foxes slip silently through thickets. Crisp cookies crumble in corky quantities. Bouncy bumblebees.
So the side there was really good. The laughing, not so much. But again, you can get it to do it, which is what matters. So there you go, guys. That's how you get it started. And if you ever want to come back, just start the GPT-So-Vits Web UI bat file, and then just change it to the weights that you already have pre-trained if you already have some weights for whatever voice you want to use. Alright, there you go. If you want a tutorial possibly on the API and how to use it or anything else, just leave it down in the comments below. Give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.